Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Nugget News. In tonight's video I just want to talk about Veritaseum, and this is a coin that I've really liked for a while now. The founder, Reggie Middleditch, I've been following his work closely for a few years now. He's always been a big advocate of blockchain technology and Bitcoin, and we're starting to see some traction with Veritaseum, and it's not the first time I've spoken about this. A few weeks ago I did my video, the top 5 altcoins. This was one of them I recommended. I think it was trading about $70 at the time. It's since over $200 now, but only a 400 million market cap. And I spoke about how large I think this could grow, and this is nothing in the scheme of things. We're still only at the precipice of where this can go, and all the money from financial markets I think it can capture in the future. So now, Veritaseum token, the VERI token there, the symbol, can only be purchased on the Ether Delta exchange at the moment, and it is a bit harder to purchase. It's a decentralized exchange. It does need sort of confirmations on the blockchain for each purchase and whatnot, but I'd encourage my members to take the time to learn how to do that, because investing in yourself and learning how to do these things pays dividends, because it's still hard, these on-ramps and off-ramps. Look at only $1 million 24-hour volume is just absolutely nothing in the scheme of things, as I think this coin's going to get up to the in the top 10 if everything keeps going to plan, the project plays out the way that Reggie's been talking about it. So now, Reggie Middleditch, just a quick bit of background. He's always been in the financial world, a Wall Street sort of background. He ran the Boom Bust blog since 2007. He still posts there. He forecast the financial crisis, the housing market collapse. Okay, he's a bit of a contrarian by nature. He called the collapse of Bear Stearns investment back in 2008. Okay, and since 2014, he's been working really closely with Bitcoin, blockchain, and Veritaseum. And more recently, he moved his project over to the Ethereum network, okay, as he really likes the smart contract side of things and how that's all developed, okay. So now, Veritaseum, this is the website here. They do a few different things. Their main focus is creating peer-to-peer capital markets. So think about a stock market, a stock exchange, a broker. You've got to give them money. You purchase shares which sit in your account, but technically the institution still owns it. And when we see banks collapse and whatnot, that's the stuff he's trying to avoid. Okay, so he wants to be peer-to-peer, so you own those shares directly on your phone, laptop, in a smart contract. Okay, and you can, if I'm selling Apple shares, you can buy them directly off me, and this peer-to-peer capital market, like he's calling it, will match users that want to buy and sell different products and have exposure to different things. So now this gets even more complicated with different layers, as if I want to buy Facebook shares and sell Apple shares, it'll actually create a trading pair for that specific thing, and really, really cool stuff. And when we think about how much money and the fees that the brokers take off us, and it's almost impossible for a little guy in a small country with a few dollars to buy shares, this is going to change all that. So if you're in Africa and you've got a crude version of a smartphone and maybe only a solar panel to charge it, all that sort of thing, and only a few dollars at your exposure, this will let you get started in the financial game and let you buy small packages of shares and whatnot. Okay, so giving everyone the chance to get on board these markets, rather than have been so biased and advantageous to the big banks and big money, hedge fund money, and all that sort of thing. Okay, so he's trying to make a really equal platform here. So another thing I just want to touch on quickly is that they've been doing forensic research, so really critical, in-depth valuations of different coins. They've done Ripple. I think they've also done Golem and Gnosis, and you can pay a fee in VERI tokens to buy those, or you can also just read a brief summary in the preview there. So have a play around on the Veritaseum website when you get a chance. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is some current developments. So recently, Reggie announced on Twitter that he's entered an agreement with the Jamaican Stock Exchange to launch a world-class, highly advanced digital asset exchange through its VERI token, which is what I just spoke about now. I've also read some rumours. There's 2 more stock exchanges he's going to add in the coming weeks. Okay, there's There's other rumours going around about which exchanges are going to list these soon. I know they've spoken about maybe Bittrex, but this thing hasn't even hit the major exchanges yet. I think there's so much room for this to go up in value. Here's just a quick look at the Gnosis forensic research I just spoke about, if you want to sort of read through that one. These guys are all from financial investment sort of Wall Street backgrounds, and they know their stuff. They're talking about projected revenues, profits, how they see this valuation, if the roadmap progresses for these different coins in years down the path, to give them a true value rather than people just speculating and throwing millions of dollars at these ICOs. Okay, they're doing real critical evaluation. So really cool stuff. Here's another tweet here, just like I was saying, a few guys sort of encouraging Bittrex to list VERI because it's just, people want to buy this and they want an easy on-ramp to get in, okay? And I think we're going to see millions of dollars flood into this once we hit a mainstream exchange. So now, finally, I just want to touch on this. So each of these little squares here represents $100 billion, and I want to show you how big I think this could grow if it starts to capture that sort of Wall Street big money, smart money flows. Okay, so I spoke about how he's made the deal with the Jamaican stock exchange, and he's also trying to sort of band those countries together to make a pan-Caribbean sort of block of countries. So think like the Euro with all the European countries. He's trying to pull those Caribbean countries and resources and their stock market, okay, with what he's doing here with the VERI token. So now this is a little bit old here, so 2013. So obviously this square is a bit bigger now, closer to 100 billion. But as we move down here, this is the valuation of different assets and different individuals and how much they've got under management. So I just want to keep scrolling down. So stock markets there. Each one of these squares represents $100 billion. Broad money supply, global debt. Now this is the interesting one. All these squares here, okay, and when we talk about these sorts of money, we're talking about the quadrillions, and this is derivatives on the stock market. Now, if Reggie's decentralized blockchain stock exchange idea sort of keeps going to plan, it's only going to take a tiny percent of all these derivatives and trading to be captured for this VERI token to go up tremendously in value. Okay, and this is the sort of risk reward that I look at when I'm investing my money. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. I'll put a link below to my Facebook, and please get in touch with me if you'd like to join my VIP trading service for $25 a month. I'll continue to do all my usual content for free, but I just want to give you guys the best education and help get your heads around how this stuff works. Okay, so thanks for tuning in.